What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So it appears that we now have some sales metrics for Stellar Blade, which is very interesting and really dials into the whole conversation with the changing landscape of today's gaming market, especially when you look at two of the market proponents and leaders, Xbox and PlayStation. You'll probably see that, like everyone has been suspecting and many have been saying, the gaming landscape is changing. More and more gamers are moving to PC as a platform. If you look at Steam's, controller usage data that they shared, we'll do a different video separately for that one. You'll realize that there seems to be a shift going on right now. Also, the prices and the cost of games did go up, and a lot of gamers seem to be responding appropriately to this change or increase in price. So congratulations to the team that developed this game. To sell 1 million copies is not easy. And on top of that, with the PlayStation exclusive, basically a lockdown in terms of money hatting, because this game was supposed to come on Xbox at launch, but somehow PlayStation got in there and did a deal. I also wanted to go ahead and take some time to compare this particular game to the game Lies of P. Lies of P was a game that came on Game Pass. And I remember at the time there was the conversation of cannibalization of sales and so on and so forth. Lies of P also was able to do over 1 million copies within its first month in sales. And then there was data that about 7+ million people had played the game at that time. When you consider these two games and you look at their performance, I think the weight in terms of the market forces seem to be acting on both of them because of certain things. Lies of P, yes, it came on Game Pass, and so if we look at it from an objective perspective, it would have more than likely sold more without a Game Pass deal in terms of sales at the time it came out, because the Souls genres are growing. The game had very good advertising, had a good demo, had good awareness creation, and was showcased on enough platforms to have given it a lot in terms of exposure. However, we cannot rule out the fact that Game Pass possibly also allowed for people to buy the game, because as many people know who want to be truthful, Game Pass, as much as it may cannibalize sales, also is in a position where it may also help sales. Because if somebody wants to play a game and does not want to necessarily just have it on a subscription, they buy it on Game Pass, seeing that there's usually a discount in many cases. Or like in my case with Nier Automata, I just waited till it went on sale on Steam and I bought the Steam copy. However, it was because I played the demo a while back and then I finally got to try it on Game Pass that made me know that I was dialed in. So this is actually a good conversation that we can have, because we can also come here and say, well, the exclusivity also in that same sense also would have put a hand in hampering whatever potential sales Stellar Blade would have gotten, because it didn't even come to PC, where I think it would have easily done like 2 million in terms of sales on PC without any problems. I mean, seeing that Helldivers 2 has the bigger player base on PC, I mean, without PC, Helldivers 2 would not be what it is today. In fact, PC players are playing on average more of Helldivers than the console base which their own publisher made the game for. So there is a market trend. You're talking about 5% in terms of conversion for a game that, PlayStation locked down. I wonder why they locked the game down. Maybe they think, or maybe they thought at the time that they would have a huge library, and by this point, Xbox won't have anything to show. But it seems Game Pass is already a competitor, and a lot of these developers would probably be smart if they start to wise up as to what is going on. One of my audience members left a really, really good comment about this. They said something about the Stellar Blade thing, and I thought I'd share it with you guys, because I think it's something to do with the pricing, and it's also something to do with the competitive side of things at the moment. So they said, let's look at it here. Somebody said, this is in terms of Hellblade, in terms of Stellar Blade, sorry. This person said, for context, only around 5% of the entire PS5 base purchased Stellar Blade. That's kind of disappointing for a group of gamers that claim they buy games. The developer, of course, is wanting to get their game onto PC platform, but the exclusive deal with Sony is likely a problem here. These companies need to wise up. Gamers are getting way more selective. It's not entirely a platform or subscription problem. I, for one, think it's the price of these games that's the real issue. I think so too, but I've also said that there is stiff competition that comes from some heavy hitters as well. I mean, if you're an Elden Ring buff and Stellar Blade came out which is a somewhat Souls-like, and Lies of P came out, which is a somewhat Souls-like, you may play them, but at the end of the day, Shadow of the Erdtree has already sold 5 million in DLCs. So the competition is stiff. I'm sure there are people who put their money aside. Rather than spend $60 on Stellar Blade, they went ahead and they said, nah, I'm going to buy Shadow of the Erdtree because that's going to give me a lot more in terms of an experience rather than bouncy gal video game. It's just a reality. So PlayStation is having to compete with its own partners. Some of you may or may not know, the Elden Ring DLC has actually touched 5 mil. That's literally in like 7 days. And so, yeah, Bandai Namco, From Software, all that, but you got to also look at that's exactly what the market pressure is. So, the developers over at NeoWits, they have some work to do. Your first game is never going to necessarily always be the hit, but I think Lies of P did well. I think also Stellar Blade did well with, what's the name of the developer that did Stellar Blade? Oops, I don't remember. But what I'm saying is they need to get work done. They have they have a long way to go, and they can still make success, but they need to dial into availability. And Lies of P did dial into availability, so its prospects seem to be much higher because it came out on all the big platforms. So if they were to launch a game right now, they're going to be riding on the coattails and the waves of their success, the knowledge base that the gaming consumer has of them. Whereas on the other hand, the Stellar Blade developer, people are going to be asking, is it coming out on my platform or not? And if it's not, they'll just basically stick with their platform because many people are not going to pay $570 to play a game. That's becoming less and less of an attractive proposition. Thanks for watching the video. Appreciate you guys' time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.